Hey there, it's Dave at No Recipe Required, and let's get cooking. Tonight I'm going to do a broccoli soup for you, which is obviously a super healthy soup. It tastes really wonderful, but I'm going to jazz it up just a little bit with some garlic croutons. We'll use like a good French bread, slice it up, throw some cheese on top, toast it. It makes a great kind of contrast to the obviously creamy, flavorful soup. You get a little sharp cheddar along with the crunch of the bread. It's absolutely awesome. Let's go ahead and get started.
So for our broccoli soup, I'm going to actually start off with a little bit of bacon. Now it's an optional step if you want to keep it vegetarian. And I just diced it up. This is 2 thick slices of bacon. And I'm just going to add it to the pan, dry pan, and let it render over low heat. And once it's crispy, we'll add our other ingredients. And this is really just, the bacon's really just going to give the soup a little bit of background flavor, a little more depth, a little more character. But like I said, totally optional. It'll take about 5 or 10 minutes for that bacon to render out. And then I'm going to add a large yellow onion. And then I've got 3 garlic cloves. You can use 2 or 3 garlic cloves, whatever you want. Gonna hit it with just a little bit of salt because we don't really know how salty the bacon was. And I'm just gonna stir everything together. Let the onions become translucent, kind of get a little bit softer. You can cover this. You can leave it uncovered. If the bottom of the pan looks like it's browning too much, just throw a little cover on it. You'll be fine. And once the onions cook down, we'll come back, add our broccoli, a few other ingredients. So the bottom of my pan was getting a little brown, so I just put the cover on, and that's going to keep more moisture in there, which will help keep the bottom from browning too much. So if you want to add some herbs, you can also do that. Some thyme in there, rosemary would be great, but I'm going to skip it today. I'm going to add our broccoli. I've got about 2 good cups, kind of chopped up into roughly the same size. You know, took the florets. I used the stems and all. Then I'm going to cover the whole thing with a good amount of chicken stock. You want it about 1 inch covered so that there is enough moisture in there. And we're just going to cook this through until the broccoli is tender, kind of knife tender. And if you need to add a little bit more water to get it covered, you can go ahead and do that. Or you can use more chicken stock as well. I'm going to add another pinch of salt in there because we added in that broccoli, along with some pepper. I'm just going to recover this, bring it up to a kind of a soft simmer, and let the broccoli cook. It'll probably take 8 to 12 minutes to get nice and tender. Okay, so we've got our soup nice and smooth. I like to get it, very smooth as can be, but certainly you can leave it chunky if you want. We definitely need to taste it. Wow, and this one, it's got definitely the broccoli flavor, but needs a big help of salt and some pepper. We're going to grind both those in there. Give it another quick blend, but before I do that, I'm also going to add a little bit of cream for our cream of broccoli soup. Again, optional, but it's going to add some additional richness as well as some flavor. Let's go ahead and finish this off. So our cheddar crostini for our broccoli soup is super easy to do. I'm using a kind of a cast iron flat top here. I've got a couple pieces of baguette that I just sliced super thin. I'm going to lay it right on top. Just kind of go over high heat until I get a little bit of crust on each side. And I've got the broiler preheating. So bread can burn pretty quickly, so you want to check it every once in a while. Once you start seeing some crispy edges, that's time to turn it over. I'm going to give it about 30 seconds to a minute on this side. So after just that 30 seconds or so on the other side, I'm going to take our cheddar cheese and stack it up nice and high. Not going to worry if it falls too much. This is you want to use a pan that you can go right in the oven. I'm going to put this under the broiler until the cheese is melted and just starting to brown a tiny bit. Okay, so our broccoli soup is finished cooking, and I just pulled our cheddar, what do we want to call them? Cheddar toast out of the off the broiler. I'm going to serve up our soup. I'm going to grab our toast. I love it when there's a little bit of overhang cheese there. Lay them maybe side by side. We clean up our plate just a little bit, and we serve our broccoli soup with cheddar toast. I'll see you next time on No Recipe Required.